Hey there, Blade fans. So what are we talking about today besides this channel? We're talking about some people that reached out to me on Instagram through messaging, and they are called Molsect. They are a new knife company. It is a Chinese-made knife, as are Civivi and Kaiser and Concept and the like. I thank them for sending me these two samples, and they're entirely different knives. I was given some options, so I decided to pick two entirely different price points and two entirely different sizes, more or less. A little bit about the company, if you'll bear with me, because I think background is important, especially when the company is new. This is from their website. So Molsect refers to molecules and section or cross section of a molecule. And I'll just let you freeze frame that if you'd like. Pause the video, and that will give you some background if you want to read it. So they prioritize reliability and durability in our folding knives. Okay. They are more or less a budgety company with most of their offerings. However, today we've got one that would fall well into the budget realm and one that's going to be over $100. That is in S35VN. So the first one here that we're going to take a look at is the Jungle. So I'm going to put this other one aside and we'll bring it back out. The Jungle pocket folding knife, 4.3-inch Bowie style blade. Let's see what that looks like. So in the box, we have a knife, of course. It's a plastic bag. The part that's interesting, I find, is the pouches they're using. It's kind of a faux leather. I really don't think it's leather, but pleather, maybe. The plastic leather. Feels pretty good. And this is unique. I haven't seen anybody doing this before. They've got it joint at the side with kind of a overlapping braid there, whatever you want to call that. Yeah, we pull that and we pull out the knife. But first, of course, you must see that they give you some paracord. I haven't opened it up, but I did see Nathan Contra's review on K. Nathan knives, and basically some black paracord in there. So I'm not going to open it up. In the event I need black paracord one day and have run out from my copious collection of it. Molsect, we get a carbon fiber. We get a microfiber cloth, and then you get some literature on the company. There's the QR code in case you want to save that. Okay, will not take much longer before we show you the NAF. Oh, we've got some desiccant in there. And here it is. Here is the Jungle. And let me clear the table there of all the extraneous stuff. And we'll just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so this is the Molsect Jungle. First thing you're going to notice is a lot of billboarding there. And what is this knife coming in at? Well, I'm going to tell you right now because I'm going to look it up. So we are talking $59 with this one, $59, and they're currently offering a 10% off. I think it was a bit more than that. It's a heavy-duty knife, and it is a Bowie clip style knife with a little bit of a hook there. I would call it a Bowie clip style blade. It is not a Bowie knife. For those that want to hold me to the exact definition of a Bowie knife. Anyway, kind of a short grind there and a clip on the top. We've got a red thumb opener, but we also have a flipper tab. And one thing I noticed about their knives, at least on this one, is there is no weight relieving, and it is pretty heavy. Now, I've seen Kubi offer weight relieving on knives of about the same price point. I recently did one on their Pical knife. We have no weight relieving here in the steel liners. They are exposed steel liners. It's a very basic knife. One thing they have been doing is using wood and some other materials that kind of make their knives stand out, as well as some milling that is different, kind of a fish scale sort of milling there, if you want to call it that. It is black G10. The pivot has their logo, and we've got a slotted pivot screw on the right side of the knife. Almost deep carry, pretty nice clip. Not a whole lot of tension, but I wouldn't call it weak either. And we've got an action on this liner lock that's pretty smooth. Pretty smooth. Big blade. So 4.3 inches on this knife, and I'm going to do some comparisons. I'm not going to go through my normal measuring process, but maybe on second thought, perhaps I should, just for the weight and dimensions. So it looks like you will see it up on the screen. Millimeters is what I'm in. So millimeters is what we'll do. I'm not getting it right. Let's see. 2.8 millimeters. And that is 0.11, if I've got that right. 0.11 inches. Handle thickness, not too bad. 0.56 for a big heavy knife. And the weight, going through this quickly because I've got another knife to review. We're doubling up today on this one since they both came from a Molsect. And we got, whoa, 7.42 ounces. So my first suggestion to the company would be to lighten this guy up a little bit. I think that can be done because here is a Civivi Tacticorix that is a large knife as well, not quite as long, about an inch shorter. By the way, the overall length on this guy is almost 9.7 inches, and the blade 4.3 inches. I mean, it is big and confidence inspiring in the hand. There's the Tacticorix, and for further compare, here is the HID from Civivi, O-Stop Hell design. Let's switch them around. I think the HID is going to come in a lot closer. In fact, whoa. It's an inch longer than that. That's an inch longer than this. And this is a long knife. The Tacticorix is, 3 3/4. Thought it was longer. And overall 8.75. This HID, this is like a large Santoku chef's knife, is almost 10 inches, like 9.8 overall, with a blade 4 1/4. So definitely longer than the Jungle and way longer than the Tacticorix, which is a 3 3/4 inch knife. But what I was getting at is the weight on, well, let's go with the HID since it's more the same size. The HID, or HID, I'm not sure whether it's pronounced as a word or an acronym, is, so we got 7.4 on that guy in the Jungle, and we've got only 5.2 on the HID, and the HID is a longer knife. And how does it achieve that? Well, it achieves it through a thinner stock, perhaps. Look at that nice jimping on that. Really nice. And weight relieving, I'm pretty sure, inside the handle in the liners. Oh, am I wrong? Oh, I know. I know how they did it. Solid G10 on one side and steel liner on only one side. So that's how they achieved it. There's a lot of ways to skin the cat, so to speak. No offense for you cat lovers, but a lot of ways to solve a problem. So 2 ounces lighter, roughly, than this guy. The Jungle is definitely a jungle-like beast, heavy duty. And you may like that. I mean, you may not care that it's a little heavier because you got a deep carry pocket clip. I would advise Molsect not to put this branding. We don't want to advertise that knives are in our pocket. If that's an all black clip, that's going to be much more discreet than, you know, putting that billboarding on the clip, especially since there's no billboarding on the rest of the knife. And I didn't even mention what the steel is. It is 14C, okay? So that's all you got there is the 14C, the 2 thumb studs, and nothing else. And they're rather nice and discreet pivot logo, similar to what Civivi does. Feels good in the hand. Ergos are good. We've got jimping here. Yeah. And I got plenty left over. So if you'd like this style blade, 14C is good for you, and you don't need anything fancier, and you want to spend 60 bucks, there it is. Now the second one is a little higher class knife, coming in at S35VN, and it is the Soar, S-O-A-R. I've seen some other reviews on Molsect, but I haven't seen anybody reviewing the Soar as far as I know. And that's not S-O-R-E, it's S-O-A-R. So we got a similar setup here. Not going to bother too much with showing you boxes here, since we are a little different box, okay? It's a more premium, if you want to call it that, box, so than what we had on the Jungle. But we've got the same pouch and the same stuff inside with a microfiber cloth and the piece of paracord. And let's pull the knife out of here. And that is a whole different animal. So now we've got titanium and carbon fiber. And that's what you're paying your roughly 140 bucks for. And it is, I would say, certainly a bump up or two over the Jungle. I'm going to slide that Jungle way up there out of the way. But yeah, we'll do some measurements on this guy as well. We got a titanium clip, curved. I'd say, you know, it's right in there with some of the Vosteeds perhaps, and some of the lower end, maybe Bestech knives and so forth. Not sure who their OEM is. I didn't ask. Being a new company, it's not too likely. There is one blemish on the blade there. Not a big deal, but not sure. I tried wiping it off. It wasn't me. It came that way. But you know, you may not like that if you're spending 140 bucks. Except that we're spending a lot more money on other knives. So we've got a nice scoop out here on the liner lock, but actually, I'm sorry, it's a frame lock. I believe it is with the hardened steel insert. I checked that out earlier. Let's see. Yep, there's one in there. Whether you can see it or not, take my word for it. There is a hardened steel insert. They're still using the slotted screw. We have an opening hole or window, as well as a flipper tab. Got good jimping, real easy opening, and a nice detent, and a pretty firm lockup. But we've also got the opening hole, which I've only been able to use on a middle finger flick. I actually have not been successful getting my thumb in there, but I might. Yeah, this thumb's a little weak, so what can I tell you still? It's a surgery I'll never have done again. Think twice about CMC joint surgery, folks. It ain't fun. We've got what looks like an integral, but it's not. We've got two halves joining together with some slots, some openings. In the back, we've got a really nice hidden pivot pin. I'd say all in all, it's worth the money for the materials. No billboarding here, which is nice. No billboarding on the blade. Is there an S35VN on there anywhere? I'm looking. I have to hold it up to my eye instead of through the camera. No, as far as I can see, there is nothing on the blade. So you want a more or less sterile knife with no markings on it. Maybe this is the one for you. I think it's pretty handsome the way they use this kind of a bead blast titanium here. Let's make sure it's not steel. It doesn't feel too heavy. Open this up. Yep, magnet is not attracted. That's steel. That's steel. Pivot obviously is steel. Been forgetting this lately on some of these reviews. Let me do some sharpness tests, very basic ones on some paper with the Soar. Not bad. I would say good. Yeah, I'd say very good. And let's get the Jungle out here. Running through the jungle. Let's see. Yeah, if you do the draw as you're supposed to, I would say our edge on this one, not quite as good. I mean, sharp, not quite as sharp. Bigger blade, don't know if that factors in. Not that high a grind, and well, there you go. So let's get some measurements on this. They're calling it a 3.3, I think. 3.27. Overall length is 7.65. Blade 3, as they said, 3 point. I'm getting like yeah, that's right. 3.27 would be right. Looking at my paper here again. Yeah, 327 would be correct. What I got? Inches. So let's get the handle thickness at the widest point. 0.49, under a half. That's very nice. And blade stock 0.11. And in millimeters, 2.8. And weight. Weight is 4.26. So well under 5 ounces. And it feels it. I mean, the titanium is factoring in there for sure. They do any interior milling on this? They might. Your guess is as good as mine as far as who's making these for them. Okay, no weight relieving on the inside, but that's pretty common where you've got the scales, partial carbon fiber scales on the outside, which is removing a good amount of this material here. Nice engagement there. Yep, about, well, close to 50%. And lockup's real good. No wiggle, no lock rock, no blade play. Jimping, got a ramp. Feels good. I mean, if you choke all the way up, meaning get your thumb all the way out there, it feels very comfortable. Or if you want to be back here, pretty nice as well. So this is the Soar, an entirely different price class than this, more than double the price, but then again, this is only 60 bucks. So if you're looking for a large and somewhat heavyweight folder, more in the budget class, you might like this one. If you want a classier blade that has higher end materials, then go for the Soar. So we got the Jungle and we've got the Soar. And let's see if we can line those up for a final cameo here. There we go. So I thank Molsect, M-O-L-S-E-C-T, Molsect, for providing these for review. And I hope you like them. Don't forget to give this review a like. And right here is my logo. Click that if you want to subscribe. Hope you do. And you'll keep coming back to see more great content. I do appreciate it. Be well. Take care. See you soon.